Hey guys, Brett Skinner here from Warlord Combat Academy. I'm the head instructor at Warlord Combat Academy. I'm also a member of the Dallas Warlords. This is going to be our next video in the series reviewing our fights from Carolina Carnage and our path to gold. Today we're going over our fight with Kynaz USA. Kynaz USA is a at least newer formed team. They definitely have a decent number of vets who are on it, but definitely this is, I think, their first competition as a team, and they've got a couple of younger fighters who are hungry and show a lot of promise. So let's get into it. I think this first round is probably our worst round of the tournament. We end up taking it. We end up taking it 5-1. But it was an ugly path to get there, and if a few things had have gone differently, this was very easily a lost round for us. So, let's get into it. All right, so as we push, I'll tell you, we're going to focus mainly on this back side of the field, at least for the start. So, what happens over here, okay? On this near side, we're both going to get trapped in a one-on-one, and we're both going to kind of get stalled out, all right? So we're just in slow, stalled out one-on-ones. So let's look at these other guys now. All right, so they push in. We've got that little 2v2. Pete here doing a great job of pushing Brennan back and getting an opportunity to attack and get the 2-on-1 on Cyrus. Then Brennan's able to get in there, start breaking this down. Pete switches to Brennan here, and we're going to have our center runner. Let's look at that real quick. Everything's going okay so far. All right. So let me pause this real quick. I'm bad at this. I guess I should have pushed the back button, huh? So you see, I guess I can't do this well. Sorry, guys. I'll figure this out. So you see here, once Pete gets a good head pull on Brennan, our center comes over, attacks Pete, gets him to pull off Brennan. Pete then is going to chase down our center. Everything's okay so far, right? Everything's played out decently well, except for over here. We now have Cyrus getting hit with his axe quite a bit. Now, worth noting, Cyrus wears cuirass. I know I talked to Andrew afterwards. Andrew's the guy swinging with the axe, and he didn't realize that he was at the time. It's the nice thing about wearing a tabard over it. Cyrus cannot feel shots to his body. That is the big benefit to the cuirass, which is why those strikes were not able to do much. Had he been wearing something different, that little small 2-on-1 that they were able to get there was really big and could have caused problems. But as it is, we get out of it. Brennan's able to get a good position on, I think this is Jimmy. I don't know all of them in armor yet. And now here's where things are going to start to go bad for us. Again, he's getting the shot, and right here, let's stop. So, right here, Jimmy now has both of our guys tied up with one arm over each side and laying against the rail. This is an extremely stable position. There is almost no way that we get a takedown on him until we break one of their grips. So if you and your partner get in this situation, if you're practicing and you find yourself in this situation, remember at this point, someone needs to back out. All right? Someone needs to push that hand up. Like if Cyrus can start working to push this hand up over his head so he can get free, Jimmy loses his second, stability point, and now Cyrus can actually start working things. But where he is right now, Jimmy's doing a great job. He is now tied up too well, and their runner is free. All right. So Andrew's going to run off screen here, and he's going to kick me, and it gets missed. I'm going to pull this up. I've got some different angles. This is the best thing, but I've got this great picture. So when he runs over, this is a picture of what he does to me. All right. So he makes that run. He tries to do a jumping kick straight in that hip pocket, right? This is an excellent move. And it's almost picture perfect the way you want to do it. The only problem, and this is a big, something to remember for everyone out there, this does not work with cattle panels, right? The objective is normally, if I'm on a wooden rail, this kick kicks my hips back, breaks my posture, and I'm unable, like I might go down from it, or his partner gets a better control point on me because of it, all right? Now let's look at what happens when it's cattle panels. Boom. So we'll pull this up. This isn't quite as good vision, but you're going to be able to, or quite as good resolution or whatever, but you're going to see this. So he's on this far side. He'll be striking right here. And now watch what this jump kick does on cattle panels. Perfectly placed kick. Does absolutely nothing with cattle panels. So just something to learn, because there is nothing wrong with that move. It's a phenomenal move. Realize that it matters what arena you're in. All right. So I love what Andrew did there, regardless of the move. He knows he's got a stable person tying up two. He is now the extra person who gets to do something. He goes, makes a run, and tries to make something happen. Kick, maybe not the best choice there, but now he's done, and now he's going to look around, and it starts to become time for target selection, all right? This is where I think Andrew makes a mistake, all right? Andrew from here basically has 5 people he can target, all right? He's got Ivy right here, Craig Ivy, which you can see Craig's pretty free right now. He's not being held down very much, and Craig has a shield. It's unlikely that his striking can do much to Craig, all right? You have me, who only has a two-handed axe, and am held up a little bit. The two-handed axe is much easier to pin by his teammate, which means it's fairly difficult for me to block a two-handed axe, which means his striking can probably affect our grapple quite a bit. Then you come over here, you have 2 people with shields, one using a cuirass, but more importantly, they're both tied up by Jimmy. Jimmy, because he has an arm over both, is unlikely to really be able to support a takedown, right? Striking is at least, especially against higher-end teams, striking is very rarely going to be the thing that drops someone. Instead, what it will do is it will make a person uncomfortable. It will make them have to work to defend themselves, and a lot of times to do that, they have to lose position in the matchup they're already in. So striking becomes an excellent way to support your teammate getting the takedown, and occasionally you're going to land a beautiful strike and you're just going to drop them. So you should be looking at who you can support, right? Jimmy, with arm over each one of these guys, unlikely to be able to follow up any sort of striking support that he can give. The final option being over here in the corner. This is our center, who also has, let's go back to this other thing real quick so that we got the better screen. So we've got our center right here, who also is only using an axe, and he's also in a grapple that he's currently giving up, I think, more than 100 pounds in. So when it comes to target selection, especially if you're an axe guy and you're free, look for where you can have the greatest effect, and I think where you're going to have the greatest effect with striking is going to be either here or here, all right? So let's keep this moving. All right, instead, he's going to look for a while, doing the right thing, trying to figure out where he should go, and he eventually decides to come back to Jimmy. Now, he gets a good hit here. Maybe helps Jimmy out a little bit there, but nothing really happens, and then Craig has finally seen enough. He leaves his guy and tries to make a run, all right? Up until now, Kynaz has essentially outplayed us. We have survived, but they were the better team up until this point. And this is where kind of everything goes wrong. And I don't mean this insultingly, but it's almost a comedy of errors. So we'll back this up just a hair and we'll look at how this goes. So, back up just a little more than that. So Craig comes over here. Over on this side, since you can't see it, maybe we'll go to the other one so you can see what happens over here. Sorry, I've got too many things to go to. So we'll look at what happens over here so that you can see it. Once he goes back over and strikes, Craig's going to choose to leave this grapple. Boom, he moves over there. Now they switch and have a 2-on-1 opportunity on me. Again, I have very little ability to defend myself other than just trusting my armor. And I think they both have two-handed axes. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they do. So I was a little worried at this point that I was going to have to start taking damage. But one of them immediately chooses to leave and try to follow Craig. I'm not sure that that was the wrong choice. I think the way this actually played out, he probably should have stayed and attacked me. But that's kind of a hindsight's 2020. I'm not sure that this is the wrong choice. All right. So we see him crossing here. And now let's look back to this. What happens? So he's going to come onto screen. He's going to throw a shot to Craig's head. And his axe is going to break. All right. And now is where everything kind of goes bad. He realizes his axe is broken. And he needs to draw his backup. Guys, if you have a backup, you have to train drawing your backup. You're going to see here, he would have been better off running back to his own corner, getting a weapon, and coming back. Because instead what he does is he tries to find his backup, turns almost entirely around looking for it, and then it becomes an easy takedown. Then Andrew goes way too hard for a head pull, slips, and falls down too. And now, just like that, they've been beating us the entire round, and now it's 5v3, right? So after that happens, we'll watch what Craig does next. I'll go to the other video for this. So those two have just gone down. Craig realizes now Cyrus is head down. Jimmy's just doing a great job of death gripping both of these people. And at this point, he's even got Cyrus in a bad position. He's winning this 2-on-1, right? He's really being a star for his team here. Craig realizes he's in a bad position. Now watch, he's going to come up and he wants to get Cyrus free. And so he's going to start working that elbow. So you see he presses that elbow up so that Cyrus can slip his head out. Brennan does a great job once that elbow's there of pulling his hand across with his grip on the axe. All right. Now that Cyrus is free, he doesn't have 2 points of support. It's much easier to start working attacks on Jimmy. And if that's not Jimmy, sorry, I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy. Brennan gets a decent head rip, throws him down. You see me coming over here. I'll go ahead and go to the other angle. So we can look at how that happened. You're going to see he did a good job of holding me up here. I'm going to edge down to this far rail. I think you see it in this. I'm going to edge down to this far rail, and then I'm going to actually push off the rail to get the takedown. So, it was slower than I thought it was. We'll see if it comes back. Am I crazy? All right, so. All right, so I'm going to back this up just a little bit. This is another one of those knowing your arena, right? So, backed up too much. The way that I'm going to push this is you're going to barely see it. I'm going to put my foot up on this rail. You might not be able to see it. So, I'm going to push off the rail to get that takedown. It's just another way to power things up. You can't do it in a wooden list. You can do it in cattle panels. And if you're in a stalled out fight and you can't really make anything happen, that's sometimes a way to get a little extra power. So we win this round 5-1. It probably shouldn't have been that way. I think Kynaz outplayed us for the vast majority of this round. And then they had a little bit of bad luck, and I think when the bad luck happened, their inexperience may have showed a little bit. But really good stuff out of Kynaz. Really excited to see where they go in the future. So let's move to round 2. Round 2 is significantly shorter. So I think it'll move straight into round 2. All right. So round 2 is going to be kind of a clinic on the 2v2 and basically the one position, we call him our initiator, the person on the rail, setting up the striker and working with the striker to get takedowns. So we'll start by looking at this near side. We'll probably look, we will look at both sides, but let's look at this near side first and watch how Craig sets up Austin here. Oh, we might have to go to the other side for that. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I forgot that the video cut out there. All right. So, we'll watch this. So, we're going to watch this near side first. Stepping up. So, Craig knows he's got... Austin's a powerful striker. Craig knows he's got a powerful striker. So, he blocks this first one. Austin strikes. And now you look, Craig reaches, grabs his axe, and pulls it down. I'm going to show it one more time just so that you can see it. All right. Reaches... pulls that axe down. This is huge. At this point, this guy has no choice, has no ability to defend himself from Austin's strikes other than just getting an arm in the way and hoping that his armor is good, all right? This is a very bad situation for this person. Right now, he desperately needs his teammate to step up and defend him from these strikes, and it's not going to happen, all right? So you're going to see Austin hits a couple of these strikes. He starts to push forward because he's trying to mitigate the strikes, all right? And as he pushes forward towards our striker, Craig is immediately going to turn and start working a rail throw, right? This is entirely because the guy had to push forward to get to Austin. Craig knows it's happening, reads it. He's the one stopping him from being able to strike in the first place, or from being able to defend himself in the first place, so he knows he's got to push or run. Second he pushes, he turns into this rail throw. Now, again, his head is down. He can't really defend himself at all. He can't even see the strikes. One or two more lands, and he starts pulling himself backwards. This is kind of your basic push-pull. Craig's now just going to finish that takedown backwards. Boom. So I think that was just a beautiful series to watch how your initiator can set up your striker and use their striking to assist their own takedowns, right? Just a beautiful series. Now, on Kynaz's side, the 2 position, we call it our exploiter, but the 2 position, the person who plays just off rail, really, really, really needed to step up and defend his guy. He kind of just left him out to dry there, and he got punished for it. So, now let's go back to this other thing, and we're going to look at the other side. All right. All right. I think this is about perfect. So, this is Charlie here. This is me here. And I want you to watch what happens here. This is straight out of one of our practices. This is one of the 2v2 drills that we sometimes set up and go for. And Charlie just pulls it off perfectly here, right? So he's going to meet, he pushes, he knows that the guy's just a hair off the rail and he has a striker right here. He gets this hook and he's immediately going to roll him to me and hold him so that so I'm free to strike him and the guy has no defense. So you'll see here, he holds him. I'm able to land a couple of blows. The guy drops immediately. All right. Now we'll go to the others. You'd think after doing this enough times, I wouldn't have to look every single time to remember which one it was. All right. So we'll back this up a little bit now. Just about perfect. All right. So hopefully you can see from this side. It's a little bit hard to see. Now Charlie's going to come up. He's going to roll this guy. I make space. Big strike. Big strike. All right. Now the next thing. Charlie has given up his back in order to give me that shot. But now we have a 2-on-1. This guy, it's hard to see right now, but he's got his axe over Charlie with his hands kind of spread, and you can see one hand right here that's basically sitting over Charlie's shield as he's trying to pull him back. A very easy way to attack someone who has one of your members in between them is to attack the part that doesn't have your member in between them, which is often their hands, right? He has his hands past Charlie with his weapon around Charlie's head, trying to hold him here. I'm going to try to make him let go by attacking this inside hand. Boom, you see the hand hit, he drops immediately. And now we've got 2 down over here, 1 down over here. One takedown happens off screen, unfortunately. None of the things get it. Their center pushes on our center. They get a good takedown. And just like that, it's 5-on-1, 4 people dropped. I think the last thing is I am pretty big on the refs did a phenomenal job this tournament, but just always remember, if you're a ref, to be real fast on getting in the way when a stop fight is called, because Andrew here is going to take a really hard shot that should not have happened because it was 5-on-1 for about a second and a half before anyone said anything. And in fact, I'm going to get there to stop Austin before any ref gets in the way. It happens, mistakes are made, but being kind of Johnny on the spot would have stopped that shot from happening right here. But anyway, for this last round, again, the big thing is just how well the initiators were able to support the strikers and use the strikers to set up takedowns. So anyway, I think that's about it. Hopefully y'all learned something. And if you didn't, hopefully you just really enjoy listening to me talk. But anyway, have fun in practice, and we'll see you soon.